Hi, Soleil here, and I was of two minds today of, well, whether I should make a little video or not. One part of me is a little bit embarrassed. I'm just in my slobby clothes. I don't have any makeup on. I don't have any lights. I don't have anything to make me look better than I am. And then I thought about, well, just accepting and being okay with who I am as I am, and letting you be part of my creatively messy day. It's really beautiful outside. Sorry, bad camera work here, but it's really windy and it's sunny and it's not too cold. And I'm inside and I'm working on about 4 or 5 different projects at once. And I was thinking I'd just let you join me today and sort of show you what I do at the same time. I have to see if I can get this to focus on my projects. Yeah, not very good, but I can show you anyway what I'm doing. I'm making a book. I'm writing a book, and I'm writing the book out of, oh, here, maybe you want to see me too. I'm writing the book out of words that I've stolen from other books. I love reading and I love books, and it's a little bit painful to cut them up, but I think, you know what? I've read them, they were great. And, you know, there's so many books that are being thrown out right now. Why not make something out of them? So this is a beautiful old book, and I just took out quite a few of the pages so it wasn't so full, and then I started to just do a little bit of stuff in there. And that just brings me to this other point, is that, you know, creativity is like a muscle. And sometimes, you know, some of us had our, not me, thank goodness, some people had their creativity squashed at school, and therefore they don't feel like they have any creativity or are able to be creative. And you know, when we stop being creative, it gets harder and harder to start. And even I get like that. I spend days where I get busy doing a lot of other things, and then it gets harder and harder for me to sit down because I start wanting my work to be perfect. And I think I've talked about that before, just letting go of this need for whatever we make to be something, to be anything. Why not just have fun? And it doesn't matter if nobody sees this. If people see it and think it's rubbish, it doesn't matter. I can spend 4 or 5 hours here and enjoy myself, and it doesn't matter. It really doesn't. I'm expressing something from me, out of me, and that's what I hope that, you know, my little videos, as quirky as I am, maybe will give you just a little edge of feeling courageous enough to do something and not really care what anybody else thinks about it. You know, my books this is my second one. I didn't really tell anybody that I was doing them because you know, something new, and I'm just doing them for me. So what I like to show you is, you know, first is I'm kind of creating this little background, I guess, I don't know, bit of texture, and I'm really into right now using what I have and not going out and buying new things. Oh, I've got some glue on my face. Well, it's okay. I'm really finding it fascinating to walk, and as I walk, and probably people think I'm very strange, I see little pieces of iron and that is all rusted. I don't know, this bit of broken green plastic, an old bottle, well, can, I mean, that's been squashed. This is just paper that my eggs come wrapped in, because in Argentina quite often when you buy eggs they just wrap them in paper. I don't know, I found this, it is wrapping paper, but I found it kind of on the floor, and it was going to be thrown away because it's ripped up a bit. And this is old pages from books. There's some rose petals that I dried a rose this summer. This is from a serviette, little butterfly. This is from the front of a, well, back actually of a book. So I'm really enjoying this idea of finding joy and finding beauty in all these things that we throw away. This is mica. This hasn't been thrown away. It was just on the ground though. Here's a lot of mica. And how can we just use those things and create something of beauty, or not, of ugliness that we just want to throw away? It doesn't have to be beautiful. It really doesn't. What can I do with this, all these bits of rubbish, so to speak, and entertain myself for a couple of hours and connect to me, connect to who Soleil is at a deeper level, and just enjoy that. Enjoy spending time with Soleil. Spending time with Soleil for a few hours, and in the end, having something that is or is not, I don't know, showable, but that really doesn't matter. And that's what I would like to share with you. So I encourage you to go around. You know, you can pause this and then come back to it a few days later. Go around and start just enjoying finding stuff. This is a piece of paper. It's all colored with tea, an old bolt, and then come together and we can start making something. And I don't know, what am I thinking? I'm trying not to think too much actually when I'm doing this. I'm trying to feel. So I'm trying to put all my focus into my heart and to work from there. There's a lot of art right now that is super, super, super clever and really interesting and fascinating. But in my opinion, sometimes it lacks feeling, and I'm really trying to do something that's different than that. I'm trying to just work from my intuition. And so when I'm working, of course, you know, I studied art, so I have some ideas of maybe some sense of harmony, some sense of colors. I like to not have a lot of different colors. I'm kind of into keeping things quite monochromatic, in a family of colors with maybe a little pop of something other. I'm like looking for textures that are different. I'm looking, and this is where it's really fun, you know, because you don't put glue on things right away. You put these things and you're like, okay, well, I've got this piece of blue. Does it need one more? No. Here, no. There, no. Ooh, I like it like that. And for me, I'm trying to have my eye kind of be happy staying here. You know, I'm trying to keep my eye on this place. I'm trying to not have my eye flip off and want to do something else. So the composition basically is that. It's just trying to keep the person who's looking at its eye on there. And actually it's a feeling of some sort of feeling of harmony, I guess is the word. And that being said, you can really consciously create some disharmony so that when someone looks at it, they feel a little uncomfortable or their eye goes off. If that's what you want to do, there's no rule that, well, there is a rule that says, you know, harmony, balance, blah, blah, blah. But that's the great thing about rules, is that, you know, once you know them, disregard them if you wish. And what I do with my words, I'm going to put this down for a second, is I go through the book. And I try not to rip out anything more. I don't rip out anything longer than a sentence. Hopefully not in the plagiary business. That attracts me. So I don't know. What I get here? Both of them abandoned when they. I don't know how it sounded. I like the word abandon. I guess that's what he had neglected to. Of course I believe you. I really am sorry. She called out his name. Fall from the sky. She considered the question. Anything that pops out to me. It can be one word. It could be 3 words. To turn her hand over, which she was. I really don't want to do that. It's not fair. I pondered the question. So, and then what I do is I kind of, see, I've got really a lot of them here. There's really a whole bunch. And I just start turning them over and I lay them on a piece of white paper. And then I'm not trying to say something. I just let the words speak to me, and I put them in an order that somehow just pops out at me. And what I find fabulous is if you sort of turn your brain off for a little while and just work from your heart or your intuition, how sometimes at the end when you read what you've written, it's really something quite beautiful. And the other thing that's quite extraordinary is sometimes it does really speak something about you or some life event or a memory. I found that quite often. I wasn't thinking of that when I started, but then when I read it at the end, I was like, whew, gosh, that reminds me very much of something that I went through or something that I feel. So now, here we go. This, yeah, just put these out. And it's a very different way of working. You know, there's a way of working with art where you do a sketch and you have an idea or a concept and you're trying to make a visual representation of your concept, your idea, your thought. And that's a wonderful way to work. And sometimes I work that way too. And this is also a wonderful way to work. This way where you don't have any plan, absolutely no plan, and you're just like a child who doesn't really know what these words are. They just sound great and you like the way they are together, and you just like these colors and you like these textures and these papers, and you can get excited about, I mean, look at this. Look at, if I bring it really close, you see that? Look at all that interesting rust stuff, and there's a little part where it's still sort of silver looking. How exciting these little things can be. And you know, I haven't done art for a while because I've been making excuses, which is something we do, I guess, quite regularly. Oh, well, you know, I don't have a space. And it is true. It's much nicer when you can make this mess and then you can go to your kitchen and have dinner on a table that isn't filled with this stuff. So, but you know what? It's still an excuse, and I can make all this mess, and I can eat dinner outside, or I could sweep all this into a big bag and then dump it out tomorrow. So, all right, now words here, and then I get excited by a little piece of mica. It looks like a little piece of plastic, doesn't it? It's really neat, but it's a mineral mica, quite beautiful. And I just want to show you how lovely it can be when we let go of thinking about something and we just work from our heart. I think really now is a time where if we could, it would be great if we stopped thinking about outcome quite so much and we start to thinking just about process and about being in the moment. I know there's a lot of literature out there about being in the now and being present and all of that. The faintly blush outline. How lovely. A blush outline. Anyway, and I'm very, very grateful to all these authors of whose words I am stealing and mixing up. This is from a few different books. And well, it's actually a very interesting way to read a book too, because you see what words and phrases an author likes to use a lot. This author in this book used hands in pockets. I don't know how many dozen times different people put their hands in their pockets. Okay, so I think that you might get bored of just watching me sort out these pieces of paper, but I will stop the video now and leave you to your things, and I will show you what I've done with my pages next time. And oh, the painting that's on the floor, which I'm doing at the same time, because that's the kind of person I am. I like to have, you know, some bread going there and some yogurt making there and a painting there and a book over there. That's just how I work. My painting is really neat. Let me show you. I'm working with well, all different sorts of things. I like to try out things. So I kind of feel like I'm a little bit of a scientist too, because I find that pretty exciting. So I painted with this bronze paint, and then I put this chemical on it. And I also, you can see the lemon pips. I put some lemon on to see if that did anything. The lemon, yeah, well, here. This is somewhere where the lemon is. And then before, you see, I put this on. I've actually been working on this painting for about a year now. I don't really like it, which I think if you've watched any of my other videos, you'll know is a great thing. When you don't like your painting, fabulous, fabulous opportunity, because you're not worried about wrecking it. Okay, so long for now. And sorry this hasn't been very focused, but I hope it's a little bit inspirational, and I hope it's inspirational for everyone to feel that you're enough and you're okay with wrinkles and no makeup and no lighting at all. Just a fabulous, fabulous opportunity to be a human.